Hello, hello. It is the Chaos Cafe Pride Edition episode. Yes, my name is Sophia. I am co hosting, of course, with magical, amazing Chris.
Hello.
Yes. And we also have our amazing other allies here. Oh my god, I didn't even realize. Sandy. We have Sandy.
Yes.
Yes. We have Cait.
Hi.
We have Diana.
Hi.
We have Leslie.
What's up, everybody?
And we have Tori.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. We want to do pronouns, anything like that. That's always important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
we could start it from the top, or starting with you, Chris, and then starting from left to right.
Yeah.
Right. So, Sophia, what pronouns do you go by?
I've been having issues with that, so we'll do she they.
Okay.
Yeah.
She, they.
Okay.
Okay. And Chris?
I'll go by he, him.
Okay. Then Cait,
I go by she, her.
Diana,
I go by she, her.
Leslie.
I go by she, her.
I also go by she, her. And Tori?
I also go by she, her.
Okay. There you go. You have our pronouns.
All
All right. Would you like to tell us where we should start off today, Sophia and Chris?
Take it away.
There was a idea of talking about pride and if we've had experiences with that and anything about that. Yeah.
All right,
So,
so sorry, Sandy.
oh no, you go for it.
So, has anyone here ever attended a Pride parade or event?
No, but I want to.
Me.
I don't think I
Mhm.
have.
I have also wanted to, but I live in the middle of
Yes.
Yee nowhere, so they don't have them here. Like, they've literally had people complain about that shit. They've complained about that shit so that
Really?
we couldn't have one here.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
like,
This is really hard to do it there.
the
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
Bible Belt.
Mm.
That's
The
rude.
Bible
That is
Belt
very
is
upsetting.
Purely Republican
so
over there.
obnoxious.
Oh,
Yeah, it's legit. Like, I would love to go to one, but I think they've tried to have one in the past, but they had so many counter protests, I think,
oh.
that they decided not to have one the next year. Like, there were more people at the
Wow.
protest than at Pride, which
Oh.
was fucking crazy. But yeah, the Bible Belt don't play, which sucks.
Oh, boy.
That sucks.
Mhm.
Down.
That does
Go
suck.
out of state for that.
I was in New York. I went to Pride, the Pride Parade. It's everything everyone says and more. It's really it's really it's a big celebration. But this was before the pandemic. It's a big celebration. You just see everybody marching, every gay foundation there. You just see some protesters. Unfortunately, you do see people that don't agree with everything
Mhm.
because they're everywhere.
Is it the Christian ones with the freaking God something whatever?
The yellow posters.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh. And then they have a
Yeah.
quote.
Yeah, some Bible verse or something.
I believe
Yeah.
I told one of
Oh.
them. I was like, "I'm Christian," and they're like, "No, you're not. If you support this," I'm like, "I'm gonna walk away now."
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah,
Walk away.
the whole
But
religious
that's rather
argument definitely
unfortunate.
doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I, as a joke, it started originally as a joke, but my parents started calling me the gay whisperer because all of my friends are not straight. Like, I mean, at the time when the name came up, it was back in high school, so I think I had maybe one or two straight friends, but the rest of them were somewhere on the queer spectrum. So they were there, and it was almost all of them. So my parents started calling me the gay whisperer. But it's definitely weird to see the religious aspect as well, because I grew up Catholic, and I've never tried to use religion to justify that. I'm not a Catholic now, but I've never used my religion or anything like that to justify not liking somebody. And like even my mom was raised Catholic, she doesn't think like that. And no one around me thinks like that, but it's always the hyper religious people that try to push that, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which really
Mhm.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like people don't like anything different.
They don't
Yes.
like change.
That's
And I
also
hate
like
it.
By the
very
book.
conservative
Yes.
families too.
I don't
Yeah.
understand it, because nobody's the same. Nobody's the same. Nobody.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
they
They
don't
just don't
like
like
anything
change.
that's not different. And I
Mhm.
like to point out, I love my gay people. They're the funnest people I can hang out with.
Mhm.
Because they're always just really, really fun to hang out with. They don't mind that I'm straight. They don't mind that I'm if I'm straight or not. They just love hanging out with people. And hey, I've heard some of the coolest stories from gay people, and I cherish them.
Oh, cool.
Like gay, straight, bi, lesbian. I've met
Yeah.
all of them. I've met asexual people. I've met bisexuals. It's just I don't understand what's the hate towards them when they're just people, and
Mm.
they just do different. Like they're just
Yeah.
different.
They're
Mhm.
people like
Yeah.
you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. We're all human beings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
exactly.
Love is love.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure if you
course.
cut them, they're gonna bleed red. They don't bleed like blue or something.
Yeah.
Or the rainbow, you know.
Or the rainbow.
A little concerning, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, I know, right?
That would be
It's
so
just like
cool.
it's
Yeah.
like we treat them like they're not people, and that's what I don't
Yeah.
like.
Hmm.
The fact that it's still illegal for some gay people to get married in a lot of
Yeah.
other countries is
Ugh.
wild to me. Like it's like
Yeah.
to me at least, as long as someone's not hurting somebody else, then let
Yeah,
them
I
do
don't
whatever they
care.
want to do. Like
Yeah.
You do
Mhm.
you.
literally
Live your
let them
life.
do whatever. Yeah, it's their life. If they're not hurting you or affecting you in any way, why are you going to stop them from what they want?
That's
Mhm.
another thing. I don't understand what it was the big issue with them getting married. With people
Because
getting
the
married. I
Bible
don't
said.
understand. But the thing is that yeah, I understand marriage is a big thing with the Bible and everything.
Mhm.
But like legally, like in the United States, it's just like writing your name with another person. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with religious
Mhm.
anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's really
Well, and the
Yeah.
fact
that's
that
really what it is.
the fact also is there's supposed to be a separation of church and state
I
and
was
to
just
use a religious-based reason to stop someone from getting married is ridiculous.
Yeah, Sophia
Yeah.
and Chris, like, what are your inputs about it? Do you have any inputs?
it's it's a never-ending war.
Yeah. Honestly, it's tough because you know, if I wanted to go to I literally just like I wanted to look it up to make sure that I had it correct, but there are 69 countries in which they still have laws that criminalize homosexuality.
Jesus.
In some of those countries, I can't go and be with if I were to have a girlfriend, I couldn't go and have a nice like romantic trip without worrying about something, without worrying that someone would possibly say something. So you have to have a, a natural strength. Otherwise, it feels like you can't do a lot. Yeah.
I just had
Um,
but I lost it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is okay.
Yeah.
I would like to ask,
Mhm.
for both Chris and Sophia, since y'all have been out for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have
Yeah.
you ever personally dealt with like people being just straight up assholes to y'all based on the fact that y'all are out?
I have one memory back from high school. It was just a casual day. I was walking through the halls, and someone called me a fag. And I will always remember that because it was like maybe 2 years later, I got a message on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure it was that same person. And he wrote me a huge paragraph apologizing for all the shit he said to me.
Oh.
Good for him for like
Yeah,
realizing
for real.
owning up
like
to,
how
like,
he
yeah.
is. Like that says a
Mhm.
lot about a person, like how much they've changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've
Like, at
really
least you like
opened up their
owned up
mind.
to like, hey, I know I
Mhm.
fucked up. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which takes
Well,
a lot.
I think, yeah, it definitely bothered him enough to remember it that
Mhm.
much
It
time
did.
later.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I need to apologize. I need to fix that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That means that, like,
What about,
it really stuck with him over the years.
yeah.
It did.
Have you
Mm.
dealt with that, Sophia?
I'll be honest. I never really, when it came to high school or middle school, I never really showed it like vibrantly. But if someone asked me, I wasn't going to deny it.
Mm.
So I always sort of had my head held up high in a sort of don't fuck with me way anyways. So I didn't want someone to try and like say something.
Mhm.
But personally, when I was in middle school, I had like a bunch of friends who were also queer. So we would say the F slur to each other as a normal standard thing. So
Maybe like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
it's the
people love
truth.
telling people that do
It's
that.
the truth.
Uh,
So like if someone said it to me, I would probably say something like, "Yeah, and I'll fuck your mother. What do you want?" Like that's probably what I would
Oh
say.
my god!
Like, what
Oh,
does
I
it fucking
fucking love
matter?
that.
I don't
Yeah.
Love
care.
that energy. Love that energy.
I love it.
Thank you.
As you
Oh
should
my
be.
god.
Yeah.
Confidence is key.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes, it is.
Mm.
Yes. Any other Pride celebration
Oh yeah.
experiences we've had?
Since before we move on to that, we never mentioned
Yeah.
like what part of like the community you're of, like Sophia and Chris. Like I feel like we should like
Oh.
address that at the beginning. But we totally
We know.
Yeah,
skipped
that
over
probably
it.
That was
would've
probably
been
the
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the spectrum,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh. What part of the spectrum are
Sophia.
you?
I am lesbian.
Gay.
Mhm. And then I myself am asexual. But I personally don't know which part of the asexual spectrum I'm on yet. So I'm still trying
That's
to figure that all
understandable.
out. Yeah.
Can you explain to me there's parts I never knew?
Huh? I've mentioned it a few times, like in our
No, what
chat.
parts
mean-
of this? What spectrum is there? Because
Oh.
I don't know about like asexual
Oh.
or anything. And yeah,
Yeah.
like,
So like for asexual people, from what I've known, is that they don't really prioritize like the sexual part, but more of like the romantic part for some of them.
well,
And some of them they
from
just
what
really
I've
don't
heard-
care about either or.
no, I've known a lot of asexual people, and they
Mhm.
find sex disgusting.
Mhm.
They don't even do anything. They
No,
don't
yeah,
do
'cause-
masturbate, nothing.
Yeah, because
Anything that involves in sexual, like anything, nothing.
yeah. So
They don't.
for the asexual, yeah, that's one part of the spectrum. But the other part of the asexual spectrum is like some of them do actually enjoy sex, because some of them are considered demisexual, which is part of asexual spectrum. So they do
Oh,
like
okay.
sex, but they need that emotional connection with the person.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that may be demisexual too, because
Huh?
I need that.
Yeah, so it's just
'Cause
like
I've
for
never heard
me,
of that.
Because like for
No.
me personally, it's just like it was when I first got to college. Like my friend just like came up to me. She's like, "Sandy, are you asexual?" I'm just like, "No." She's like, "Oh, really? I really get that vibe from you." I was just like, "No." And then like I kind of started thinking about it more. I was just like, "Huh." it kind of feels like I am, but I don't know yet. So I've just like never like classified as it. I never identified with it. And then like
Yeah.
I think like maybe like a year or two ago, I actually like started looking into it because I was like genuinely curious. I was just like, I really wonder like what like being asexual is and like what part of the like are there like different parts to it? What is it exactly? So then I learned about demisexual. I think I'm more of the like on demisexual side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then like since like considering like about like anything sexual, I just don't do. It's just like I think I'm more on like the asexual side rather than the demisexual. Yeah. So I'm kind of like in between. So I think there's one called like the gray area, right?
Yeah, gray sexual.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do
So
you think
I'm not so sure about that.
Do you think maybe I think we talked about this before. You said that you haven't been in a long-term serious relationship before, right?
Yeah, I haven't really like been in like a serious relationship with anybody, but like the partners that I've had before, it's like I did have like that emotional connection with them because they were my friends. So it's just like there was like we got to know each other, like we enjoyed each other company and whatnot. So it's just like there was somewhat of an emotional connection. That's why like when you mentioned it, I was just like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. So it's just like
Well, and that's part of the reason what I was going to ask too is because do you think if once you get to the point of like you're in a long-term relationship, do you think your definition of what your sexuality is will change or shift in any way?
I mean, it's possible. Like, I'm still trying to figure things out, so I won't know yet. I honestly
Who
don't
knows?
know
Like,
anything.
time will only tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
That's the
gotta
beauty.
see what's happening. Yeah.
Everything takes time.
Yeah.
Everything takes time, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You
I
just
had a
gotta go with the flow.
question.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
shoot.
Yes.
So, how do you guys feel about influencers in the community, and do you think they're a good representation?
Yes and no.
Give an example, because I don't know.
Some of them are good.
Yeah, some of them.
Mhm.
Not a lot.
Some of them are good.
Like, I feel
Like-
like Nikki Tutorial, she's a very great role model. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
I feel like she's a genuinely good person.
Wait, Chris, you said yes and no. Would you like to elaborate on that?
I feel like there are some who are genuine,
Mhm.
but others, I feel like they like to seek attention
Okay.
and they use
Use
it
it
for their
for
own
clout?
personal gain. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a clout, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know who I feel like a lot of people think the one person that does that is what's her face?
Who?
Gigi Gorgeous.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people feel like that's what she's doing, but I genuinely think like, yeah, she's just trying to figure out her life.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of influencers that are gay or anything because sometimes I won't know until they say it, and I probably won't be there like to hear it. So it's just like I won't notice. But there's a lot of influence out there that are gay that I do love, and I forgot his name. Was it James Borden? No, but I forgot his name. But I know there's a lot of gay influencers out there that are really good to the community. I don't like the ones that just use it. I don't,
Yeah.
and you can tell
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
You can tell
You seriously
so
can.
hard.
Wait, tell me like the ones that you think are using it for cloud, because I'm kind of slow on stuff, so I don't know.
No, I have one, and I'm just gonna say it. Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Oy.
That's very true.
See that?
Like at the beginning, I genuinely felt like she came out and like did everything because that's how she felt. But then as time went on, I just
Yeah.
No.
Me too.
She
Felt
did a
iffy about
person
it,
with
and
a
then
con.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh my god, did you hear? She's trying to run. No, I'm not even gonna get into that on this because I
Yes,
don't.
I heard
I don't want to
that.
talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
politics.
Yeah.
You already
No.
know she's trying to run as
Yeah.
governor for California. No thanks.
Yet she hit someone with her car, so I don't think that's really
Yeah.
gonna
I don't think that's.
Yeah, I don't think that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Not gonna
mean,
happen.
we already had a celebrity as our governor once. I don't think I want that again.
Yeah. No.
Mhm.
It's just like,
For those who don't know, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You'd be like,
Mm.
I'll
Yeah.
be back.
Yeah.
The Terminator.
The Terminator.
Yeah.
listen, let's not go into politics. That's gonna be a
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Politics. If we did an episode on
Moving on,
politics,
moving
then
on.
we could complete the entire
No.
show.
I want to say my favorite gay influencer is Todrick Hall.
Love him.
It's one of my favorite. I love
I
him.
actually don't know who
Love him.
that is. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna show you videos.
Yes,
I
please
need to
show
show
me
him
later.
Yes.
Definitely.
I've gone to his like concerts or his like
You
little
have?
tour he did. He came here to San Diego, and then I think me and my sister drove up to see him in LA as well. It was so much
Ooh.
fun.
Oh, lucky.
Bet it was.
I love his videos.
Mhm.
All right, so
I don't. Huh?
What?
I'm just saying.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't saying anything. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Wait,
ask:
Sophia-
is there like any other influencers that you think kind of shines a bad light to the community?
Ooh.
Sophia, do you have
Do you have any input?
Yeah.
I mean, in that question that the mystical potato that is sitting listening said, I do feel like James Charles didn't help as much.
No.
Oh,
he did
definitely.
not.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like he kind of damaged
Especially-
the community.
Especially, didn't it
Mm.
come out recently that he was talking to underage boys, or was that
Yeah.
something else?
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
Can
him.
we, can
Yeah,
we
that was
please
him.
talk about that real quick? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
or like we
hold
can
on.
just do a brief like discussion, like yes or no,
Yeah.
and then move on, and then like we could come back to it on
Okay.
another episode, going into depth about that specific topic. So,
Mhm.
considering that James Charles is how old? Like 21, 22, and he's talking about like 16, 17-year-old boys. Do you still think that's considered grooming?
Oh, of course,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah. Grooming.
Yeah.
Grooming? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because
That's
like
all.
hypothetically, right? I think it's
Mhm.
like your brain isn't fully formed until you're like 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
for them to be like 16, 17 and him already be 21, like doesn't add up. Like it would be different if he was like if they were like 25, 26 and he was 31, that would be different than what it is now because they
It's
are
the law,
underage.
that's
And,
why.
well, no, not even like if the only thing stopping you from talking to someone underage is the fact that they're underage, then there's a morality thing there. If the legal implications of talking to a minor is what's stopping you from talking to a minor, you need to go and check your morals. But for that to be that much of an age difference, and it's not even like a legality thing, but if they're underage, they're not like even under the eyes of the law, they're not supposed to be able to sign contracts without a parent present. They're not supposed to be able to buy alcohol. Like there's like legal things that stop that, but they're also you make a lot of stupid decisions when you're young. So for you to be able to make the decision like, oh, I want to sleep with someone that's 10 years older than me, that's not the type of decision that should be in your hands. And there shouldn't be someone making that option. Like
The thing is that you're right, and like you said, like 16-year-olds, they do a lot of stupid shit. I remember we were all 16 at once. We did a lot of stupid
Yeah.
shit.
you know how many stupid ass tattoos I would have if I could have
I'm telling you. I'm surprised I'm still alive. But like I said, there's a reason why this is actually illegal. You are the older person. You are the more mature one. You should know right from wrong. And you talking to these people, these kids that are 16 years old, they're minors, is not okay. That's it. You broke the law. That's it.
We could I'm gonna cut you off right there, Lizzie. Sorry. But like yeah, we should just move on from that, bring him back on another day, get more into depth about it.
It's for another
'cause this
time.
episode,
Yep, for another topic.
we want to just talk
Yes.
about
Yeah.
Pride because it's Pride Month.
Yeah.
So, Sophia.
No, we're just saying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We got any questions? Anything about the community that has been sort of unclear that someone might sort of like a tiny Q&A in a sense.
Well, I have really not about the community or anything, but I do have a question for you about like how, but both of you, Chris and Sophia, about coming out to your parents.
Ooh. Okay.
That's what I want to know.
Sophia, would you like to go first?
Sure. I'll be honest, I got lucky with parents. They were very sweet and very nice. I told my mom and she immediately was okay with it. Actually, a tiny teensy story in that is that my mom and my dad have a very good relationship. They tell each other everything, but I thought that my mom wouldn't tell my dad and wait for me to tell my dad, but she did not. And then he did nothing about it. But I was like scared because when to remind you, I have a Hispanic dad, and usually in a lot of religion, you know, he was raised
Yeah.
Catholic, so I was
Yeah.
worried that
Mhm.
he would be apprehensive or not very happy about it. So probably a month afterwards, I tell him literally in a McDonald's parking lot at like 11 p.m. And he was like, I know, your mom told me. And I was like, God damn it.
God damn it.
God
Did you
damn it.
get to
Nice.
And he was just like, listen, I want for you to have the easiest life that you can have because my life has been hard. And the only thing is that I know that this will be harder for you. And that's the only part that I am distraught about in any way. I was like, I'm fine. I have you. I have my super dad. I'm fine. I'll be okay. Yeah. That's sort of how it went.
That's cute.
Chris?
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I was lucky too, and I actually never had to come out to my parents because they told me that they knew from when I was a very young age,
Oh.
and
Aw.
so yeah, and
Aw.
so it was pretty much of a self-discovery for me.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I never had to worry about like how they would react or
Not being
if
accepted.
anything bad would happen. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, pretty much.
but
Mhm.
I do remember since I was put into a Catholic school, coming out to the school, and that was a whole weird story.
Would you like to share that story? I'm very curious now.
Actually,
Please elaborate. Please
I would.
elaborate.
I know.
I
Please
would.
elaborate.
I would. So I came out to the school in 6th grade, and I did it at recess. So everyone, when they found out, they were literally running around telling everyone, and I was just like, you know what? This feels damn good.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
But of course, I was in Catholic school, so let's. I think it was a year later. I think yeah, a year later, I was in an art special. A special was like gym, art, music, whatever. Anyway, I was in art. So then one of the priests came down, and of course, someone from the class asked him about gay people and the church. So then that got back to my teacher, and she got pissed. So when we got back, she literally slammed the door and yelled at the entire class for basically throwing me under the bus. So then, now this is where it gets really, really interesting. A year after that, the priest, well, not the same priest, but the different priest, the head priest, came to me and asked me to come to his office. Yeah, so we talked about it. Or maybe it was the same year, but whatever. We talked about it. Of course, I was scared as fuck because I was in Catholic school, and so I cried. And then he basically told me, you know what, Chris? Maybe instead of telling people you are gay, maybe tell them you think you're gay. But at that point, I was very accepting of myself. So in my head, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So then, a year after that, I was in high school, and my sister was on Facebook. Well, she received a message saying that the priest was kicked out of the Catholic Church.
Wait, the head
Oh
one?
boy.
Yes, the head priest was kicked out
Uh-huh.
of the church.
Very
Would
nice.
anyone love to guess why?
Because he came out?
Came out.
No,
Was
he did
he-
not come
no.
out.
Was he
Was
trying
he
to diddle
touching
Touchy
boys?
touchy.
More or less, yes.
No.
No.
Same priest
No.
that talked to me did that. So I was pissed. And I'm still kind of pissed to this day.
I'd be.
Unfortunately, I can't find him on Facebook because he used to be on Facebook. But of course, he got caught, he got kicked out, so all his whole social medias got deleted,
Wiped.
basically. So I think he's basically in hiding, maybe. I don't know.
Where's
But
he
yes.
hiding?
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
is.
God.
But that's what happened.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I can
The
never.
person who told you to hide it. Oh.
I mean,
And I
okay,
feel like I
wait.
can never get
Chris.
vindication.
You can find him. There is a way to look it up. If you know the general area,
I tried.
you can search for all the offenders.
He has to
If he
register
was
as sex
Very
offender.
then-
true.
Yeah.
No, I mean on online?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little
Well,
map that
well, I
shows
have
you
a
like all
question.
the sex offenders and whatnot in your area.
Yeah.
Or like in whatever area you search.
And you can look them up by name.
So
as
if you
well.
know the
Ooh.
city,
I have to
you
register.
can find it.
I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
But the thing is,
saying.
did he get in trouble? Like, did the police arrest him or something? That you know of?
I have looked up articles, and there are articles online.
Because if he was ever arrested for doing that, he has to register on the sex offenders list.
Well,
Even
that's
if
the
he
thing
wasn't.
too. A lot of times the Catholic Church will protect themselves, and they'll make sure he doesn't go to jail or anything like that. But sometimes they'll like, I can't remember what the word is. It's like discommunicate or something like that. But they like make you cut out all ties. No, it's not that word. It's something else.
Excommunicate.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
word.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They'll basically make you cut all ties with the church. But one thing that the Catholic Church loves to do is if a priest or something gets caught with that shit, they, instead of excommunicating them, they'll send them to another church in another area to do, and basically a slap on the hand. They won't actually do anything to them because the church will protect them.
Okay.
So
Okay, we'll save that.
Yeah.
Okay, for all our input on what
Another
we want to save
topic.
another day. Okay, this is all gonna tie into whatever. We're gonna have one day just to talk all about
Okay.
that
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
another.
So
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else to your story, Chris, or that's it?
That's pretty much it.
All right. So
Okay.
moving on from there, do you and Sophia have any advice to those who plan on coming out to their families?
Wait until you're ready.
Yeah.
Because you will know in your head and your heart when you're ready. Just wait
Yeah.
until you're ready. And if you feel like you have to do it when you're old enough to move out and you do move out, that's fine. That's completely
Yeah.
fine. You never ever have to tell anyone until you're ready.
Sophia?
the number one thing for me is that I hate being caught off guard. So even though I know that I had accepting parents, I was worried because sometimes people completely do a 180, completely drastic, and I knew that I didn't want to at all have that and be caught off guard. So what I did is in my head, I set up a sort of scale. So the worst possible outcome of how it could happen, the best possible outcome, the most likely, and the worst that I can handle right now. So that I can have a gauging of how it could happen, just in case, so that I would be prepared. But, and at the same time, know when you're ready, but also do it as safely as you can. Always make sure that safety is the number one thing in that instance.
And I also feel like if like you come from a family that's very like conservative, very religious, or just very like old fashioned, I want to say, and like you already know kind of like how they would react just because of like how old fashioned and narrow minded that they can be, and you still live with them, it would be, I think it would be best for you to wait until you move out and come out.
Yeah, for sure.
Just
Yeah, I genuinely know
so that you have a
people
safe
that-
space afterwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
I genuinely know some people that before they decided they wanted to come out to their parents, they waited until they had money stashed away and like a bunch of their personal belongings like ready to go in suitcases because they were convinced their parents were going to kick them out. And then I also have like other friends, like my best friend, her mom is married to a woman. Her and her older brother are I think they identify as pansexual right now. And her younger brother is also come out. So like their whole family is like this. But just to be on the safe side, they've decided to not say anything to her grandmother because she's like, I don't want to break my grandma's heart. And that like is super upsetting because she loves her grandma. Her grandma's really sweet, but because she doesn't want to do that to her grandma, she's scared to come out to that part of her family.
I definitely understand that.
I want to add to that. My parents are very religious, and I grew up religiously. And well, I identify as straight, but I did sit down with my mom one time saying, like, how would you feel if I do come out, or if there is a time that I feel that I'm not straight anymore? And it took her a minute to answer, but in the end, she was accepting because, yeah, like she would rather have me than lose me. If that makes sense. So, interesting conversation, and I was a bit worried, thinking that she will take it like up a notch, like saying like, "Wait, are you or are you not?" And then like making a whole like scene out of it. But yeah, it was good talk. Just I don't know. I guess like just to see if they would accept me or not. If I did.
Yeah. I understand.
Like,
Yeah,
I definitely
I've-
had that same reaction with my dad. I was like, "Hey, how would you feel if I came out to you?" And surprisingly, he was really accepting about it. He just had a few questions. But like both him and my mom were like, "We're still gonna love you. You're still our daughter. We're gonna love you no matter what. It's all up to you if you change your mind."
Yeah.
I have the complete like opposite reaction. But you guys, yeah, my mom wasn't really accepting. I don't know. It was just a hypothetical, like because my mom is Christian, and I told her like one day I was like, "What if I decide, hey, I'm a lesbian?" She's like, "I wouldn't want to hear about it."
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, I just don't want to hear it. You could be whatever you want, but just I don't want to hear it. I don't need to know. I don't want to know who you're dating. I don't want to know nothing. Yeah. Which is why I kept my relationships or anything, like any boyfriends or anything, very secret from her, because it's like what she said there is like my dad, I think, wouldn't care. I never really actually had that conversation with Ivan, but yeah, she wasn't really accepting. My sister did a joke to her once, saying that she was, and my mom was pissed off throughout the whole party.
Oh,
It was bad. Yeah.
Ooh, Tori, your mic.
oh
Yeah.
boy.
I'm sorry.
It's
It's
okay.
fine.
It's because I shifted and it rocked the table that my mic is sitting on.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
at first, when I asked my dad the question, I was like, "Hey, how would you feel if I came out to you?" He goes, "Well, how am I gonna get grandchildren?" I was like, "Well,
Wait.
well,
Adopt.
I can adopt." He goes, "I guess so," and then he was like pretty accepting after that.
Mhm.
I actually asked my
Okay.
mom because, as you guys know, I don't date. I haven't dated anyone
Same.
at all. So I'm like,
Same.
have you ever wondered like if I was or not? And she was like, for a minute, yeah, but you're fine. Like, it's up to you who you want to like and not.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure my sister
So
is
I'm like,
still
you ever
convinced that
wondered?
I'm a lesbian.
Dude, my mom asked me if I was a lesbian once because I didn't carry a purse.
Oh my god.
My mom asked me if I was gay because of the way I dress. Because I don't like dressing like super girly. So I'm more of like tomboyish, athleisure, a lot of athleisure, baggy shirts. And she'll just be like, "Are
Yeah.
you a boy?" I'm like, "No. No, I'm
No.
not."
That's the way I look.
Cute boy.
Okay, but like tying into that real quick, I was told before that like my grandpa, like when my mom was pregnant with me, I like kicked her really hard, and she honestly thought I was gonna come out as a boy, and then I came out as a girl, and like my grandpa, he was just like, would have been better if it was a boy, and just walked away.
Oh no.
So I was just, ugh, okay. So that kind of like, for a while, it kind of gave me like a little of a identity crisis. I'm like, do I want to be a guy? Do I want to be a girl? But like, I feel like right now more of like, I'll be more like on the like non-binary side because like there are days where like I feel like more like a guy. Sometimes I feel more like a girl. So still trying to figure shit out.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Another question for y'all. Have you had any friends that like personally came out to you?
Yeah.
Would you
No.
guys like
Yep.
to share
I
your
have one.
story?
Yup.
I'll start first.
Okay.
It was in middle school. I was making friends and all that, and then I got really close to this one guy, and it was like to the point where like maybe we'll go out, maybe not. Little middle school. But then over the summer we learned that he came out, and I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome. But did it break up?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, no, but it was fun. Like, he did tell me later on in high school, like, yeah, I came out, but I learned it through other friends. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
My
There
tapestry
was this
just
I'm
one
moved
guy.
on
right
its
now.
own.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
The
Leslie, did you want to share your story?
Yes, please.
yeah. Okay, so I was in high school and it was just like like 4 or 5 of us. And I literally thought that this guy liked one of my girlfriends. And so I was like everyone was trying to hook them up and everything. But then I was like, he's not really like going towards her. And then I talked to him one day, like we just sat down, had a good discussion. Like, you don't like her? He was like, Leslie, I think I'm gay. And I was like, why? He goes, I thought I liked you at some point. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, no, I'm gay. And I was like, no. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine if you're gay. Hey, shit. He was like, I find guys more attractive than I'll ever find a girl attractive. And I was like, you're gay.
That's okay.
It's fine. I was like, hey, you're gay. He was like, how am I gonna, like, he was
Cool.
asking me how I was gonna tell his parents and everything. I was like, that's a discussion. You need to sit down
Yeah.
with your mom. But I think his mom took it pretty well. And I think his mom already knew. But
Aw.
I honestly didn't know. I was shocked when I heard the news. I was like, what? I was like, okay, you're gay. We had a lot of gay friends, so I was like, hey,
Mhm.
you're a foot
Okay.
right in.
Does anybody else have any stories? Or do
well,
you have
actually-
more, Leslie?
Do you have more?
Okay. Okay, go, Cait.
My best friend actually came out to me as bi,
Ah.
and she was like, well, she put it on her Snapchat story. She goes, "Hey, I think I'm bi." I'm like, yo, good for you. I'm like,
Yeah.
you go, girl. And then my cousin came out to me. This was 5 or so years ago. We're downtown Toronto, taking a subway. She goes, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." She pulls me aside from like her friend. She goes, "I think I'm bi." I'm like, "Cool. Let's go get food." Let's go get food. And then one of my other friends, we just found out he's gay, but everyone already knew. He came out on
Oh.
Instagram with his boyfriend on Valentine's
Aw.
Day. It was super
Aw.
That's
cute.
so
Yeah.
cute.
I
They're
know.
so
They go to the same
adorable.
school. Yeah.
You know, don't you have those friends that you're like I know like you're gay but you haven't come out yet, and then you're not really
Mhm.
surprised.
Mhm. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
actually had
Yeah.
like one of those friends that just like one of my friends,
Mhm.
like I've known him since like my first year of college, and like just like a few months ago, like at the beginning of this year, he finally came out and he's just like, "Hi, like I had a talk with my mom," and like she's like, "Yeah, I've known you're gay," and he's just like, "Yeah, it's good to finally come out and know where I'm coming
Aw.
from." And it's like the thing is like we all knew that he was gay, and we would like always be like, "Hey George," it's just like it's okay. It's okay. We fully support you. Like we're not gonna like treat you any different if you come out. So it's just like we would tell him that like we would try to be as supportive as possible. But the thing is like he would, because like machismo, so it's just a
Yeah.
lot of just overcompensating for a lot of things. So like whenever we mentioned something among those lines, because like we would just be like, "George, you're gay," and he's just like, "No, I'm not." And
Mhm.
like he would just like deny it, and he'll overcompensate. He's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to this girl." I'm just like, dude, it's like you don't have to prove anything to us. It's just like
Mhm.
you do you. You don't have to like over.
You don't have to prove anything.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
to
exactly.
prove anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just we're all so happy that he finally came to terms with
Aw.
himself after so long.
That's good.
Mhm.
And then I have one more.
Go for it.
Okay.
Like a good friend of mine back in like grade 10.
Mhm.
She actually, or he actually came out as trans, and he did like the full surgery and everything. And he's like super confident, super happy now.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah.
Took him like a year to figure everything out. But everyone, like our whole friend group, like super supportive through the whole thing. His mom was super supportive.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it was super
Great.
cute.
Anybody else? Chris, do you have any friends that came out to you? Sophia?
I don't.
No.
Aw, that's, or like you've already known like all along, or like just no.
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 Aw.
My
Tori?
best friend from elementary school, actually, he came out to me. So it's actually kind of funny is like we met each other in like 4th grade, and at the time he thought he was straight. and we hated each other. Absolutely fucking hated each other. And like we were like basically like enemies. Like we could not stand each other. We were just straight up mean to each other. Everything. Then like 5th grade rolls around and he's like, at like 5th or 6th grade, he's like, I think I'm bi. And I was like one of the few people that was nice to him because at the time I went to a small ass school that was even more hyper religious than it was. Had I stayed there, my graduating class would have been like 12. So like small town mentality definitely took over that school. So like if you told somebody something, like everybody in the entire school would know by the end of the day. He figured out that he was bi, and then we were kind of like okay with each other, and I was one of the few people that was like nice to him about it. Like everyone else was kind of dickish, or they would straight up like blacklisted him, so they wanted nothing to do with him once he came out. And then
Oh no.
We lost one. We lost one. No.
She'll be back.
It's okay. She'll be back.
After then we got to middle school, and it was 7th grade. He was official, like, I think I'm gay, I know I'm gay, and he had like gotten to this point. And at this point, our friendship, because I was one of the few people that was still nice to him, we got really close, especially over the summertime, because I used to get bullied like crazy, and people were like dicks at that school. And we got really close over that summer, and just in general, and to this day, he's still one of my closest friends. And like I could go 5 or 6 months without talking to him, and I could shoot him a text and be like, hey, want to go get dinner? And he'll respond within seconds. It's just like he's my oldest friend, and he's trusted me a long time with anything he has to say. And the thing that's kind of cool is he got a really sweet nickname from my mom, and he basically my mom has basically adopted him. That is her son, basically. She started calling him Giraffe after he had a little bit of a crisis. He kind of started asking, he was like, so what if I kind of started to figure out, what if I'm not gay? And my mom basically told him, she's like, I don't give 2 fucks if you feel like you're like into sleeping with giraffes. You're still my son, you're still my kid. I love you, and that's not going to change. So now his name, anytime she asked about him, she's like, how's my giraffe?
That's so cute.
Yeah,
I love that.
basically her adopted son and my oldest friend. And I have not texted him in a couple of weeks, so I should probably do that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
any more stories, Tori?
So as I mentioned earlier, I am the gay whisperer, and I haven't necessarily, for some unknown fucking reason, I have had quite a few people come out to me, and they're like, you're the only person I've come out to so far. And that's happened like 3 or 4 times, but for some reason, I'm the person that's like, hey, will you go with me for moral support to Spencer's so I can get a vibrator? Yes, I can. I will gladly be your moral support.
Alright. I've like personally had like so it's like I had a friend that I knew before when he was a girl, before like he transitioned, and like it was really hard getting used to like calling them by like their new name. So it's just like I would catch myself and I would just be like, oh hey Brooke. I'm just like, oh wait, your name's not Brooke anymore, and I'll feel like so bad about it because like he was on T at the time, so it's just like you could see all the changes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
yeah. I had a friend my freshman year of college that said they had a friend that they went to school with that had transitioned. They had known them for like 7 or 8 years before they transitioned, and they had transitioned and had been transitioned for like 2 or 3 years, but they were telling a story with them in the group, and because at the time in the story they hadn't transitioned yet, they kept saying she, and after they got through the story, it was supposed to be a really funny story, but they got through all the way through the story, and they got all the way through the story, and she's like like cracking up and laughing, and like no one in the circle is laughing, and she gets to the end of it, and she's like, "Oh my god." And she realizes at that point that she had fucked up the entire time about her friend's pronouns being he, him now. And she immediately felt like garbage for the rest of that night. And it was just a simple mistake, and it didn't even like occur to her to switch the pronouns because they hadn't transitioned during whenever the original story had happened, but at that time they had already transitioned for a couple of years, so for that to happen, it was like it took them a hot second to realize what they had done, and then they felt really, really bad about it for the rest of the night.
I mean, but like the good thing is like they realized and then they fixed it. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
And like I had a roommate who was also like trans, and he was like in the middle of transitioning too. I know I was like very confused because like he was already as identifying as like he, him when he hadn't like started transitioning yet. So I was just like confused. I was just like, wait, are they not? What's happening? So it's just because and then like I realized that he was transitioning because I saw the bin for the needles in the bathroom. I was just like, wait, why is that there? And then it finally clicked in my head. I was just like, oh, he's transitioning. Because before he started T, he already got like top surgery. And that's like when I first realized that he was trans. Because like I never like seen anybody that had like top surgery. So I was just like, wait, what? And like the thing is like my other roommate, like he had no clue either. Until like I pointed out, I was just like, yeah, he's trans. It's just like, no, he's not. Like he didn't believe it. I was just like, yeah, he is. It's just like, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Moving along.
Yes.
What do you think the future of the community will look like? Like, do you think kids will grow up in a world where being in the community will be part of like the norm or not? What do you think, Sophia, Chris? I want to hear your inputs first.
Tori looks excited.
Yes, she's very excited. To me, I hope that it is the norm, because you go through a lot of wondering if it's okay and anything like that. So it would be good for kids to grow up in just sort of a more accepting thing, to where if when they want to come out or anything like that, it's never, it always feels, even when you are knowing that the people that you're coming out to are accepting, it still feels anxious. You still feel a little bit of anxiety when you do it. So I wouldn't want that for anyone. So I hope that it does become the norm. Yeah.
Chris?
I also hope it does, but if I'm being honest, I don't think it's gonna happen for a long while. Because
it's like slowly
people,
getting there.
it's slowly getting there, but it's still such a what's the right word for it? A stigma? Is that right word for it?
I think so.
Yeah, it's such a stigma that it's like it's slow. It's getting there, but
Making progress.
definitely have to yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to keep making progress.
Baby steps.
But hopefully, yes, baby steps. But hopefully, yes, it does become the norm.
Tori, are you ready?
Okay. So, you know how as of the last couple of years, the Hollywood and stuff is starting to become more diverse with like people of color representation, as well as like sexuality representation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
fucking Blue's Clues is the imprint, is the fucking blueprint. I swear to God. Okay,
Oh.
so
What?
Blue's
Clues,
Clues.
the parade song.
Blue's
Yes.
Explain.
Yes,
Okay,
please,
so-
please elaborate.
So if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, the current guy that does Blue's Clues, I think he's Filipino. Like
I haven't
the
checked.
guy. So previously it was 2 white guys.
Yes.
Now I know he's Asian. I think he's Filipino.
Oh.
I can't. Don't correct me on that because I'm
Oh.
probably wrong. But
Hmm.
Blue's Clues released a alphabet video that actually played on their show, and the letter P was pride, and it had a bunch of pride flags, and it was the cutest fucking thing. And then at the beginning of the month, they had an actual pride parade like animation done, and it like every
Yeah.
single float was like, it was like one of them had, I think, like 2 mommies, one of them had 2 daddies, and then the third one had 2 non-binary parents, and it was the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And oh my god, it was so great, and it's like a whole parade, and it was legitimately a pride parade in Blue's Clues style animation, and it was the cutest thing ever. So like Blue's Clues was one of the shows that I watched growing up, like Blue's Clues and Dora and stuff like that. And like whenever I was little, that never would have happened. But for some, like, my nephews are kind of past that. But for people having kids now that are watching cartoons, to see stuff like that is fucking phenomenal, because they're being exposed to things that I never grew up with, and like my sister never grew up with. So oh my god, I'm so happy that kids now are exposed to that and get to see that as part of the norm. And it's, oh my god, I get so happy about it, because they get to grow up without seeing that biased prejudice in something as simple as kids' cartoons, and it's makes my heart happy.
Okay, talking about that, I have another question.
Okay.
What do you feel about parents not identifying their children as like boy or girl, like from birth? What are you guys' inputs about that? And
I mean,
elaborate.
Huh.
Chris is shaking his head.
The only person who knows who they are truly on the inside is you. You, me, not the parents, not the grandparents. No,
like I'm talking from like from birth, when they come out of the womb, looking like an alien.
A little
And like
potato.
when they come out looking like an alien, they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna give them any gender role. We're not gonna call them a boy. We're not gonna call them a girl. What do you guys feel about that?
I have something about this. When it comes to like gender reveal parties and stuff, they're arbitrary, and most of the time they're overdone and kind of ridiculous. But for the term, like in terms of like doctor's appointments and stuff, for whenever they're brand new, they have to do all of that stuff. For some of it makes sense to have like an actual assigned sex, not gender, assigned sex. So for the baby to be a male baby, and they have to do certain things when it comes to medical stuff, that makes sense. But to do, like, for example, like gender reveal parties, and being like, oh, I'm having a girl, I'm having a daughter, her entire room is going to be pink. That is where like gender norms and stuff like that start to be enforced. And I think that's what like younger generations, as well as like beginning Gen Z, is starting to kind of like be done with. They're like, gender norms are stupid. Like, obviously millennials and a little bit older than like myself have started doing is gender norms are dumb, and they're starting to do away with them. And kind of the cool thing about not assigning a gender is getting rid of associating blue with boys and pink with girls, and arbitrary stupid things like only little boys can play with cars or only little girls can play with dolls. Like, they're just kids, let them be kids, and let them enjoy whatever toys they want to play with.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truthfully,
because
to
like
me,
my little cousin, she I don't know why, but she fucking loves Thomas the Train. She just fucking loves it. I'm just like, oh, okay. Do you want this bubble maker that's like Thomas the Train? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll get it.
Aw.
You have something to say, Sophia?
Oh, like we're ending the near the end of the episode, but at the same time, like in gender norms, even in assigning things, there's I mean, kids can be born intersex, which is a
Yeah.
in between of that. So even then, you
Oh.
can't really.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna dress my baby in what is good fashion
Mhm.
sense. If I think that I have a cute outfit, we're gonna dress my baby in that. That's it. That's all.
I just feel like if I'm having a girl, it's gonna be a girl until it tells me otherwise. That's
Mhm.
how I
Yeah,
feel.
and that's perfectly fine.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I decide to
Mhm.
give it a gender reveal party, I'm gonna do that. Because 1, I want one. 2,
Mhm.
I want one. And 3, I fucking want one. And but like I understand, like, you know, I don't understand. Honestly, for me, I do have a little bit of a I don't understand why you won't give the baby a gender. You're not giving them anything. But for me, I will give what the doctor tells me it is, what it comes out to be, a girl or a boy. That is what they are, unless they tell me otherwise.
I agree with that.
Like
Yes,
if
I
they
agree.
decide at
Me
5
too.
years old, hey, I don't think I'm a girl, then we'll talk about it. Like, okay, we'll see what's the next steps in that. But as of when they're
Yeah.
fresh out of my vagina, they will be whatever they come out to be.
Fresh out the womb.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
like
now I'll
now,
come into my gender review.
because like nowadays, like a lot of people are like they're not using like blue and pink anymore. They're using like purples, greens, yellows,
Mhm.
oranges, all types of
down
colors
with
just for the
Yeah.
gender reveal.
That's
So that's
super
a
I
cute.
hate pink.
I fucking love that. I live for that because
Yeah.
like I never liked the whole like blue and pink for the gender reveal.
Mhm.
I'm just like
Bro,
not the best colors.
It's gonna be
But
purple for
okay.
me. Fuck that shit. I
you
hate
want to
pink.
hear some fucked history facts about
Shoot.
blue and pink? All right. Please, moving on. When I learn how to speak again. So pre World War II, originally blue was considered a feminine color, and that's what little girls were born with. And pink was given to little boys when they were born. But then Hitler showed up, and he's like, blue is a masculine, strong color. And then little boys were given blue, and that's how we think today. Because of Hitler, that is why colors are associated with masculine and feminine for little boys and little girls when they're born. Yeah.
Hitler did
Interesting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Assigning masculinity and femininity to colors is stupid at best anyways.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
pink and blue being assigned to boys and girls is because of Hitler. So enjoy that little history factoid.
Fuck that dude.
I am disturbed.
Me too.
I know I always hated pink
Okay.
anyway.
I knew I hated it for a reason.
Mm.
All right.
Alright. Should
Any
we
last
wrap
words
up?
before we wrap up?
Mhm.
I have something.
Go for
Going
it.
back to Victoria and the Blue's Clues, did anyone see the Arthur episode with Mr. Ratburn?
Oh
No.
yeah.
I saw like snippets of it.
Wait, yeah,
Me
I
too.
have.
Yes,
I haven't seen the full episode, but I did see snippets too.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
No, that
everyone,
was
of course, was in
cute.
an.
that was so cute.
It was
I was so
cute.
happy.
But everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Are we having a
It's
watch
a
party after
cartoon.
we're done filming this?
In a cartoon for kids.
I mean, we
cartoon for kids. We shouldn't be
can.
showing this.
Fuck off,
I was like,
people.
Hey,
Over
seriously,
it.
like, why do you care? Why?
It
Why do
doesn't
you
matter
care?
anymore.
Colors,
Why?
let colors be
Why?
colors.
Yes.
Seriously, why?
Love is love.
Love
Yes.
is love.
Mhm.
That is the
Exactly.
great ending message there.
Mhm.
Yes.
Do you guys have any
Mhm.
advice before we wrap up?
Any
anyone
final
who wants to come
says?
out, anyone who's questioning.
I still think if I'm
Any
a
for our
bisexual,
allies?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Be as
We
understanding as
never
you can.
we
And
never
that's...
talked about Sophia's fruity senses.
That could be saved for another
Oh
episode.
no!
also my identity crisis. Anyway,
We could do like a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Bonus
yes.
episode.
Bonus.
Patreon
Bonus?
exclusive.
All right. Well, though,
Yeah.
it's over an hour now, so we're gonna call it here. We'll see you guys in the next episode. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Please follow us on all our socials. On Twitter at what's it?
Are we
Chaos?
below?
It'll
In the
be
description.
In the
somewhere.
description below. So
Somewhere,
follow our
everywhere.
podcast socials and our own
Here, there, I don't
socials.
know.
They'll all be linked down below.
Yes.
All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Questions, comments, concerns.
Yes.
Shoot us an
Happy
email or
Pride.
leave a comment down below.
Subscribe.
Don't forget to like the video.
Somewhere.
Yes.
Share it with your friends.
Subscribe. Hit that bell. God damn
Bye.
Swirl around in circles. Remember to dance a little at least every day.
Happy Pride.
it.
Happy Pride Month,
Happy
y'all.
Pride.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.